Welcome back to Yoga Berry, your yoga for scoliosis community. So today I've got a lovely standing practice for you, which is there to improve your balance. And you will only need a yoga block for this practice. My name is Christine Berry. I'm a yoga teacher and I specialize in yoga for scoliosis. Do check out the description below with all the information about the classes, the courses, online courses that I offer. And then get ready for our practice. So we are going to start in mountain pose, which is one of my favorite poses, and it's a standing pose. We have our feet hip distance apart. Remember, the feet will be lined up with the knees directly underneath the knees, knees directly underneath the hips. And find your hip bones. So this is the alignment. It's not out here, the outer hips, but the hip bones. So there should be one straight line all the way down towards the ankle. And then just notice if one of your feet kind of want to turn out or in. See if you can bring them parallel to each other. And then just notice if there is a little bit of an arch in your foot. Hopefully there is, because otherwise it means you have flat feet. So see if you can spread your toes a little bit wide. And if you lift your toes, you will notice how it activates the sole of the foot. And you might think, well, what does it have to do with my scoliosis? How is this yoga for scoliosis? But the feet play a very, very important role. And obviously we are standing up quite a lot, and there will be some effect from, especially if you have a lumbar curve, down into your knees and also in towards the foot. So we have to make sure we keep our feet working and healthy. So just place the toes down again, but keep that lift in the arch. So we're slightly pressing a little bit more through the outer edge of the foot and keeping the big toes down. So that's your challenge for today. Good. And then see if you can keep that connection with the ground and lengthen through the crown of the head a little bit more. And I just probably grew about 1 centimeter taller. So see if you can imagine how you're creating that space in between the discs of the spine. And that is really what we want for our scoliosis. If you have one shoulder that is rolling forward and you know which one it is, if you have a right thoracic curve, chances are that it's your right shoulder. Bring the right shoulder back and the shoulder blade slightly in as well. So just that little bit of adjustment here. And then close your eyes. Allow for the body to enjoy that standing pose. So it's a really strong pose. You should be feeling really balanced, grounded with your feet, activating your legs, feeling all the muscles around the legs engage. Notice if you've got equal amount of weight on the right foot and the left foot. And if you're not sure, then shift your weight over from one side to the other until you feel that you're centered, that both feet are working evenly. Good. Let's take another breath here. Good. So from there, we're going to take the legs wide. We're going to come into warrior two, which is another one where we have both feet on the ground, but we really need to strengthen our legs and our feet if we want to take it into balancing poses. So we're going to turn the right foot out and the left foot in. Good. So at the moment, there's still equal amount of weight into both feet. Take the arms out to the sides. And then on your exhale, you're just going to bend your front knee until the knee is directly over the ankle. So this kind of depends on how wide you take the legs, but you basically don't want to be here. So you don't want to have the knee forward of the ankle. So if that's the case, then just move the foot a little bit more. Good. And then again, notice if you still have equal amount of weight into both feet. So chances are that there is a bit more weight onto your right foot now, as this is where we were going towards. But see if you can give your left foot a little bit more. So reach through the left fingertips. And we really want to keep the body in the center here. So really nice and stable, really nice and strong. Good. really enjoy that contact with the floor here. It's called a warrior. It's called a warrior 2. So it's a really lovely strengthening pose, and it should make you feel strong and stable. Good. Let's take one more breath here. And then bring the hands to your waist, straighten the right leg, turn the right foot in, and then turn the left foot out. So we're going to do the other side. Take the arms out to the sides, bending the front knee. So making sure that the knee goes over the ankle. We don't want it to move inwards. So see if you can be quite precise with this as we're staying in the pose for a few breaths. Again, notice if all the weight is going into your left foot, maybe you can reach through your right fingertips a little bit more to bring the body back to center and press down through that right foot a little bit more. Good. Inhaling and exhaling, just relax the tops of the shoulders. So we want to make this pose comfortable enough that we can enjoy it. Good. One more breath. And then bring the hands to the waist, straightening that left leg, turn the feet in, and let's heel toe the feet together. We're going to come into our first balance. We're going to come into tree pose from here. So come back to your mountain pose for a moment. So hip distance apart. See if you can find that lovely length in the spine again. And then start to shift your weight over to your left foot. So now the center of gravity, which is kind of, we're imagining it here in the middle, is shifting over towards the left until you don't need your right foot, and it's just floating off the ground. And then you can bring the sole of the foot to the inner ankle, or you can slide the foot up the leg a little bit more. So I would prefer for you not to take hold of the foot and use the hand kind of in this way and bring the foot up, because then the hips start to become quite uneven. So see if you can just use the strength of your leg and sliding the foot up a little bit more. Bring the hands together at the center of the chest. Good. And notice that little bit of wobbling that is happening in your left foot. And that's good. That is your foot being strengthened. So all those little muscles around the foot are getting that little bit of a workout at the moment. Good. And then let's slowly release the leg from there. Come back to your mountain pose. So find that strength, find that stability. If we find that, then it will make our balancing poses so much easier. Good. Let's do the other side. So we're shifting the weight over to the right foot now. Left foot starts to float off the ground. Turning the leg out, bring the foot to the inside of the ankle. Bring your hands together at the center of the chest. You can either stay there or start to slide the foot up the leg a little bit higher. So we're keeping the hips nice and stable. Lengthening through the crown of the head. Good. And notice how this side might feel compared to the other side. So this is my better side. The right leg seems to be stronger than the left leg. And that might or might not have something to do with scoliosis. Everyone has a preferred side. This is the one where I feel most stable. Good. And then let's slowly release the arms. Good. So if that tree pose was challenging enough for you, then feel free to stick with that and maybe repeat this again. I want to show you half moon pose, which is a little bit more challenging. I'm using the wall for this, and I'm using a block. So we're going to stand on the right foot first, and I have the foot about this far away from the wall. Balancing on the right foot, bringing the right hand onto the block, and I have to come a bit away from the radiator so I don't crash into it. And then the wall is really useful to give you some feedback here. So if you are familiar with Lauren Fishman's work, and the 3 yoga poses that he suggests for scoliosis, you will know that this is one of them, especially for S-curve scoliosis. But we are going to practice both sides today because it's all about balance, and it's about balancing the right side with the left side. Good. So see if you can find the wall with the rib cage, and one side of the rib cage might already be against the wall. See if you can also bring the other side to the wall, and then lift the top arm up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to stay for a couple of breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Good. And then when you're ready, slowly bringing yourself up, and then we're going to change sides. So bring the block over to the other side. So again, find the wall with your rib cage, lifting the right leg until it's about parallel to the floor, flexing the foot, and then see if you can just bring that right shoulder back a little bit more. So if you have a right thoracic curve, chances are that your right shoulder wants to drop forward. So we're keeping it really back towards the wall. Lift the top arm, and then just enjoy a few breaths here in this lovely balance. Good. And then slowly coming out. Good. So I would strongly suggest that you follow this pose up with a little bit of relaxation. So make sure you take some time to lie completely flat on the ground. Come into Shavasana, support it in any way that feels good for you. Maybe have a cushion underneath the head, cover yourself with a blanket, make it really, really nice and comfortable, and rest there for 5 minutes if you can, just to balance the energy out. So we have worked on strengthening the body and creating some energy. So balance is not only to be able to stand on one leg, but it's also about balancing that energy out. So if we have been quite active, we also want to calm down at the end. So please do rest in Shavasana for a few minutes, and I will see you very soon for the next video.